Welcome to Real Talk with Real Estate Pros, where we bring you exclusive interviews with the real estate experts. We'll delve deep into their journey to success and learn how to go the extra mile to serve their clients' wants and needs. Let's dive in. Here's your host, John Money McKinley.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. We're in a wonderful new year, and as always, I got to thank my producer, Zach, in the back there for delivering the good tunes. All righty. So we're going to pull back the curtain on the home buying and selling process so you can make some smarter moves this year with real confidence. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned homeowner, or just a little real estate curious, no questions here. You're in the right place. Let's be real. The market is shifting, and navigating today's real estate landscape can feel like a full-time job. That's exactly why we're bringing you the pros, the people out there doing the work, solving the problems, and helping families find more than just a house. They're helping you find a home. And speaking of pros, I've got a fantastic guest joining me today. He's a rising star at Keller Williams in the Woodlands, one of the top up-and-coming realtors under 30, and someone who knows the Woodlands inside and out. Please help me welcome Ryan Rivera. Ryan, welcome to Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. How are you doing this afternoon? Or morning, sir. Excuse me. We're still morning.
I'm doing fantastic. I'm super excited to be here. I just want to thank you for having me on your show. I'm honored to be one of your guests, and I'm extremely happy to be here.
No, I'm really glad you're able to come on. And I think one of the things that really I was impressed by you is you're a young guy and you're really out there doing things in the real estate world that got my head turning. And I've been in the world of real estate since like the mid 90s. I was just but a small child in the mortgage business. Hey, I started in middle school, okay? I'll just have you know.
Yeah.
But with that said, why don't you kind of give us a quick snapshot of your journey? You know, what brought you into real estate and why the Woodlands?
Yeah, so what really kind of brought me into real estate, I would have to like dive back more a couple years and kind of speak more about my childhood. Um, I was actually not born in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in Monterrey, Mexico. So I spent almost 15 years of my life there, and I love Mexico. I speak Spanish, and I love all of that. And one of my greatest memories was my home, my house. I loved my house. I loved the feeling of it. I can remember my house. I can walk through it with my eyes closed. And that feeling, I feel like it drove me to look at other homes. And I just look at other homes, and I'm addicted to that feeling of bringing my clients that type of feeling of home, because it's not just wood and a bunch of material. It's at the end of the day, it's the place where you're gonna rest, the place where you're gonna grow, the place where you're gonna have kids. I mean, the house itself, it brings so much just comfort and safety and security. And whenever I think about it, I just feel that nostalgic feeling. And I think that home ownership and real estate is so important, and not even just residential. I think that it's a great investment. I think that commercially, and you can rent it out. I think that there's so much opportunity in the world of real estate, and that's exactly why I chose it. I think that real estate is something that is undeniably important. I mean, who doesn't want a home? Homeless people don't want to be homeless. They want a home.
No, I mean
People,
you hit the nail on the head, Ryan. And I think one of the things that first impressed me about you when I met you is your energy and your enthusiasm. And you realize at a young age that, look, real estate is it's more than just the two by fours and the sheetrock. There's more to it. And the home process is an emotional response. We all grew up in homes. I'm going to bet everybody here watching and listening probably grew up in a home. Yeah, you may have some good memories, you may have some bad memories, but that's part of life. That's part of growing up. And the process of home buying, it's more than just, okay, numbers, numbers, numbers. It's where are the people coming from that are wanting to buy the home? And that's why I always tell people it is so important when you're buying a home and looking at buying and selling a home that you have the right people in your corner, people that understand where you and your family are coming from. Because if you don't have that, you're going to miss out on a lot. And sometimes you just get yourself put in a bad position. I think there's a lot of people listening here today that can admit, yeah, they may have had an experience in real estate in the past that just kind of left a bad taste in their mouth.
Hmm. 100%. I agree with that. And I think that that in itself, having good people in your corner, is exactly what is so necessary, especially when you're dealing with buying a home. I mean, it can be so scary, but it doesn't have to be. And when you have people there alongside you who genuinely do care and who are working for you and for your best interest, I feel like that process can be just taken so much more lightly. And that I feel like whenever you have a good realtor or whenever you have a great lender like yourself, I feel like that in itself can comfort somebody and make this process so much easier because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people can't afford homes and we're seeing that especially right now. I mean, the economics of of pretty much everything. People can't just afford it and it's scary to people and stuff is just out downright kind of going crazy around the world. But the one thing is for certain is that with all this craziness is that you have somebody with you who genuinely does care and who genuinely is just not going to look for a paycheck. They're looking for your best interest. They're looking for you to get your needs and for you to be a homeowner.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing as well. You're with a well known broker. You are with Keller Williams. And Keller Williams is a great brokerage. And what's nice is just to let everybody know, Ryan has access. It's not just Ryan. When Ryan's helping a family buy or sell a home, you got a whole team behind you, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah. I'm filled with teams. I'm filled with people who are great. I know so many people because you're not just getting me, you're getting everybody behind me. You're getting everybody who have a relationship with. You're getting people who are part of my team and people who just work together. I mean, that's what you're really getting into when you're working with someone like me.
And that's comforting, and that really should give people a better understanding because there is so much happening in the world of real estate. And one thing I would like to mention, because we were just talking about Keller Williams, is you're making a lot of waves over there, and you're on the way to becoming a top realtor under 30. What do you think sets you apart from other agents? I don't know, we've dug into that a little bit, but what do you think if you could give us just one thing, give my audience one thing, what is the one thing about you that's going to set you apart from anybody else in the world of real estate?
My ability to learn. I think that what sets me apart from any realtor is that I'm not afraid of failing as while learning. I'm not afraid of 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 being stuck. I'm afraid of being stuck. I love learning and I love increasing my knowledge, increasing my relationships, increasing my network. Um, I'm not afraid to go ahead and learn. I mean, I want to learn everything, and I am trying my best. I what sets me apart is that I wake up at 6:30 and I dedicate 2 hours of learning. Just on my own, I learn. I go read a book about real estate, or I listen to other people, or I get into commercial, or I look at contracts and I read them over. I'm constantly getting better and better at my game because I know that if I want to be able to be the best, I have to learn, I have to grow. And I made a decision with myself that every day I'm gonna set time apart to be able to grow 1% better every single day. And there's this one thing that they say in Japan that it's called Kaizen, and it's the never-ending achievement of self-growth. And I live my life based on that because I feel like if you set your goal to becoming a person, or you live every day as that person you want to be in the future, in the 10-year or 30-year goal that you have, I mean, it's you only can fail if you give up. So I honestly, I'm not afraid to learn, and I want to learn, and I'm super enthusiastic. That's a part of me. I just have this passion to just grow, and I have this passion to excel, and I have a passion to learn. And I love just talking to people, and this is just, I mean, for me, this isn't even a job. For me, this is what I like to do. I even in my free time, I'd be I'd be watching like realtor videos. I've been watching like I watch like commercial, I watch investments, etc. I think that there's just so much that I just have this like passion for it, and I just have this drive that nobody can take it away from me.
Well, that is really good to hear, and I am glad to hear somebody like you talking about the learning, wanting and desiring to get better each and every day. That is fantastic because you've finished your schooling, is quote unquote schooling that you have to go through, but you are still continuing every day to learn. You are continuing to try to get better, and that is another thing that makes you a very big asset for people working with you on the real estate side. And like I
Mm.
told you when I first met you, I was watching. I was like, who is this guy doing this stuff around here? What's? I said I got to go meet this guy. And then I go in there and I was like, wow, I was very very impressed, and I'm grateful that you came on my show here, Ryan, because it's people like you, and I've been, like I said, I've been in this business since the 90s, and it's really nice when I run into an agent like you that cares like you do, as well as is continuing to get better every day. Because you hit the nail on the head with that, and I've learned that, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, there's been points in my life where you just kind of slack back and go, okay, I think I got it all figured out. I don't need to learn anymore. And the next thing you know, you're sitting there in the near future going, whoa, 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 what happened? Why aren't things working anymore like they were? And it all goes back down to this is an ever changing world, especially in the world of real estate.
Mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that's been dealing in the world of real estate for any length of time knows, heck, over the past 2 years alone, the realtors have gone through a dramatic change from how compensation is handled, how dealing with clients is handled, to even their contract, which, by the way, just saying this is my personal opinion, but I've also heard this by many other experts. The Texas real estate contract is the best in the country.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
trek form is just it is the best in the country. But
Mhm.
even that has had changes just in the
Yeah.
what past year, correct, Ryan?
Yeah, just recently, just right now, we just got a brand new contract for listing agreements and for buying. They're constantly being reviewed, constantly being better, and constantly protecting people. Because Trek serves to protect the consumer, it doesn't protect necessarily the realtor. I mean, it can, but it's designed to protect the consumer. It's designed to help the consumer out. I mean, Trek is responsible for our licenses. They can revoke it, they can suspend us. So Trek is very on top of their game, and they revise and they do, even if it's small tweaks, they do small tweaks. Even if it's things like that, they do small tweaks to contracts. And yeah, we just had something happen like that recently, and that was actually funny you mentioned it, because I was getting under buying contract with one of my clients, and I was gonna go ahead and get representation with them. And it was just by the day, it was just by the day that we had it, that it meant that it became dated. So I had to send them a whole other contract, I had to send them a whole other thing and get signatures because it was out of date.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about Keller Williams, is that Keller Williams is you can experience many other brokerages, and there's so many other brokerages out there. I mean, to name a few, like EXP, Remax, etc., right? But I feel like I've explored those and I've seen into those, but I think that nobody really kind of does it like Keller Williams, because Keller Williams genuinely, they're always with you on everything, and they're always up to date with things, and they're always making sure that the consumer and you are protected, and that we always have representation. We're doing things not the wrong way, but the right way. Because good always wins. Good always wins. And I truly believe that.
Oh, I've always had, and like I said, I've been in the business a long time. I've always had good luck when I'm working with realtors that are on the Keller Williams side, you know. And
Yeah.
yes, I've had great good luck with other brokerages. This
Yeah.
is not here to be throwing stones at anybody, but
Yeah,
just
no.
coming from a standpoint of somebody who's been in this business for at least a month and a half now. I've had very good experience with you guys, as well as I know from my view of things, you guys have an extensive training program, which is fantastic. But what I'd like to do is, because I don't, because I could, you and I could talk for a very, very long time on
Yeah.
what's going on. But I'd like to dig in what's happening in the market right now. How would you describe the current vibe, for lack of a better word, in the Woodlands? Is it still a seller's market, or are buyers, are they starting to get some negotiating power out there now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's a fantastic question to ask. And I'll tell you that personal experience, because my main marketing strategy for my clients and my main way of reaching out to people is doing open houses. And while me being in an open house, it not only just helps me reach out and talk to the consumer and get their genuine thought of what's happening hyper locally, it's also letting me see the demand, what people are trying to get for. If I have, like recently, like last week, I had 15 plus families come to my open house.
Nice.
That tells me that demand is going up. That tells me that people are interested in that type of house. That tells me a variety of things. And whenever they have me, I talk to them. I genuinely have a conversation with them because I want to know their opinion and I want to know how they feel about the home. And when I get that, I put it in my head and I start thinking, and then I relate it to other homes in the area. Are people looking for Woodlands? Are people looking for Magnolia? How they feel about the prices, etc., or how they feel about interest rates. And with that being, I think that right now, according to what my expertise says, and while doing open houses and talking to other people and being out in the field, I think that it's a buyer's market. I think that buyers are getting be able to negotiate. I mean, we've been experiencing kind of throughout a lot of days on market, and for a while there wasn't that much demand. And with that being, the supply was up. And when you have supply and there's very little demand, something's got to give.
Yep.
And when that happens, I feel like that in a way, that supply right there, you be able to get, since it has so many days on market, the buyer can be able to negotiate and be able to knock it down. I mean, I had some friends who've knocked 40, 50 grand off of prices, which is fantastic. I mean, they're getting a good deal, being able to get good deals. I think that people walk into a house and they lose their sight on putting in an offer. But if you put in an offer, I mean, you don't even know. Maybe you can. Maybe that is possible for you, because I mean, I think that especially this market right now, since it's kind of like scary and people are losing trust in it, I think that the buyer is getting more power, and the listings are dropping down in price. That's what I'm seeing because if you look at the charts, I mean, if you look at Woodlands, I mean, there was during 2020, what that thing was going out like flies. It was
Yeah, you literally put realtors were sticking signs in the front. They didn't even have the sign. The
they
guy
didn't
was
even have to.
hammering
They
the sign in the front yard, and oh, it's already under contract. Put the sign up.
Yeah, exactly. And literally, one of my uh,
Uh-oh.
they said that they put the sign up. Oh, they said they put the sign up. Oh, I'm lagging now.
Oh no, you're back. You're back. You came back. You're just
Hello.
Uh-oh. You're got choppy on me again. Uh-oh. We've got a technical difficulty here, everyone. Ryan looks like we're having a little bit of difficulty with our connection with Ryan. Ryan, are you there? Are you there? Uh-oh, Ryan has completely, let me put him back in the green room. And, well, would like to thank everybody for being here today. I did not want to have to end that show in the middle of it, but obviously something happened between our connection for him coming in my studio, and he is completely frozen on his end. With that said, I will definitely have a second show with Ryan on. I want to dig in deeper with what he was talking about, and I hope Ryan was able to share a lot of good information with you all and give you a better idea and a better understanding of kind of what's happening in the world of real estate here locally, Woodlands, Spring area, Conroe area. But I would also request, we're really trying to grow this show, really trying to get more experts on in the coming year, and we want to deliver what you all want. Leave comments in the comments section. I'm on Facebook Live. I'm on YouTube Live. Leave comments. Please go ahead and like on my YouTube channel. Leave comments on what would you like to hear. What experts in the world of real estate, financing, credit would you like me to have on the show? And I'm going to do everything I can to bring people on. Do you want me to see if I can get some elected officials on that are up here in the Montgomery/Conroe area and have them talking about some future plans for Conroe? If you'd like that, I'd love the opportunity to try to get one of those folks on here and really give us an insight on what's happening. Because we all know, especially up here on the north side, there is a lot of things happening right now in the Woodlands and Conroe and Spring area. But with that said, you all have a fantastic week. Looking to be here live again next week, and we will be having a lot more weekly videos to share with you. You all have a fantastic day. And once again, John Money McKinley from Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. If you want to reach out to me, please, you have all my contact information in the description of the show as well. And I'll also pin it in the first comment. I'll also pin the contact information for Ryan in there. You all have a fantastic day.